Good evening, everybody. That sounds great. We're glad that you're here. Welcome to the third annual Coles County Scholastic Clash Scholars Tournament. I don't know. I think I just made that up. But we're really excited to see you here this evening. We're so excited to have you on our campus. I'll tell you, there's not a student from Mattoon or Charleston who's going to be up here tonight that we wouldn't love to have a student right here at EIU. So I'll certainly make a small plug that if you're interested in a career in engineering or teaching or pre-med or you name it, we'd love to see you here and we'd be all in for you. Well, this is a great fun time. I always enjoy it. I always sit in the back, try to answer the questions myself, pretend that I did. But it's amazing the scholastic aptitude of our students from Mattoon and Charleston. Please know that I am wearing neutral blue or panther blue. I'm not green or red. In fact, I am all in and supporting every one of these students here today. Well, thanks for being here on campus. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know it's going to be a grueling competition. May the best team win. I can't recall. What do we have for the scores for the last 2 years?
I don't know the scores, but last year I believe it was Charleston that won, and the first year it was Mattoon, so it's a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. The suspense abounds. Well, again, thanks for being here, and let the tournament begin.
Thank you very much. All right, and so now we will call in from the waiting on the wings both teams from Charleston and Mattoon high schools. Come on down. You are the next contestants on the Scholastic Bowl. Let's have a round of applause for our contestants. Come on in. Welcome. I'm just going to review the rules as much for my own benefit as yours. We'll have a chance to meet the members of the teams who will introduce themselves and their coaches. And then we will begin our first of 4 12-minute quarters. The format is the usual one. We will have toss-ups with a time limit of 5 seconds for teams to buzz in. The teams correctly answering those toss-ups will gain a point on the board. They will also have the first chance at a series of 3 bonus questions on a related theme. They will have up to 10 seconds to answer those questions. If they fail to answer in that time, or if they answer incorrectly, the 3-second bounce back for the other team will commence, and they will be able to jump in and steal that point away from them. Every correct answer is a point. There are no negative points, no powers. It's nice and simple. The other thing just quickly to note is for computational questions, you'll have 30 seconds. I believe everyone is supplied with paper, pens, and pencils. And now we will commence with introducing the teams. We will begin with Charleston on my left. So if you could buzz in just to make sure that everything's working, and we'll have you introduce yourselves and then the coach for Charleston.
Hi, I'm Jay Cruz. I'm a senior this year at Charleston High School. Our team is coached by Mrs. Ann Kidwell, and my teammates are going to introduce themselves from right to left with how they believe they will die.
Oh, duh. Okay, hang on a sec. I'm still working out the technology. Okay, got it. Go ahead. No, I'm not working out the technology. This is the bit you won't see on television. Oh, there we go.
My name is Riley Carey-Tillman, and I believe I will die alone.
Existentialist. All right, hooray. I'm not sure you should be clapping for these. All right.
I'm Lahiru Perianan. I'm a junior, and I will die soon.
Oh, Lord.
I'm Ethan Hadley. I'm a senior. I'm going to die of leprosy or something.
Creative.
I'm Skylar Brooks. I'm a senior, and I will die from the rapture.
Oh, excellent. Good news. All right. Ethan, if you could just move your sign back a little bit, I can see the light on Skylar's. Actually, just a bit more towards you. Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. And now over here to Mattoon.
I'm Caleb Johan Peter. I'm a senior at Mattoon, and our coach is Mr. Ite, and my teammates are going to introduce ourselves from left to right.
I'm Lynn Elliott. Lynn Elliott. I'm a freshman this year.
Ben Hinton, junior.
Ephraim sophomore.
Josiah Donaldson, sophomore.
Oops. Excellent. So you'll have a little bit of, I think, touching the base of the microphone. There might be a button there so that you can be heard clearly. Any questions or concerns before we begin? All right, then we will begin with our first set of toss-up questions, starting our first 12-minute quarter. Now, good luck to both teams. This novel's protagonist uses the phrase, quote, "A box without hinges, key, or lid, yet golden treasure inside is hid," close quote, to describe an egg in the chapter Riddles in the Dark. Mattoon.
Is it The Hobbit?
It is The Hobbit, correct. So you will have the first crack at this set of bonus questions. This author wrote that the subject of one of his poems would live, quote, "so long as men can breathe or eyes can see." 4, a point each. Name this English author who wrote, quote, "Thy eternal summer shall not fade," close quote, in a poem beginning, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?"
Shakespeare?
That is correct. And the next one, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day," is written in this poetic form, which contains 14 lines of iambic pentameter.
Sonnet?
The sonnet is correct. And finally, the speaker of "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day" notes that rough winds do shake the darling buds of this month.
May?
May is correct. A clean sweep on that bonus round. Well done, Mattoon. Moving on to the next toss-up then. This agency's acting director, Thomas Homan, has argued in favor of the passage of Kate's Law. In 2017, this agency's Operation Safe City targeted people living in sanctuary cities. Name this agency that enforces Charleston.
ICE?
ICE is correct. Okay. So Charleston, you have the first crack at the next set of bonus questions. In 2003, Roy Moore refused to remove a monument displaying this text at the Alabama Judicial Building. For a point each, name this set of instructions that appear in the books of Exodus and Deuteronomy.
The Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments is correct. In the 1956 movie, The Ten Commandments, this actor played Moses. 3 years later, he played the title character in Ben-Hur.
Adams.
No, that's incorrect. Mattoon? Need an answer?
No answer.
No answer. All right. It was Charlton Heston. Finally, this character from a 1953 play indicates that he has cheated on his wife Elizabeth by omitting, quote, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," close quote, when asked to recite the Ten Commandments. Prompt.
No answer.
Mattoon?
Is it The Crucible?
That is the play, but in fact the answer was the character John Proctor from The Crucible. All right, so Charleston managed to get one of those bonus questions. All right, to the next toss-up. This country's Halasan National Park is on its volcanic resort island of Jeju. The capital of this country, yes, Charleston.
South Korea?
That is correct. Okay, so you have the first correct at this set of bonus questions. The naked mole rat is one of the strangest mammals. For a point each. While it is very different from the typical black rat, both organisms belong to this largest mammalian order.
Rodenta.
Yes, that is correct. Naked mole rats can survive in oxygen levels toxic to most mammals, in part because they can switch from metabolizing glucose to metabolizing this other simple sugar found in sucrose. Answer?
Fructose.
Fructose is correct. Finally, naked mole rats do not feel pain when they are exposed to this irritant alkaloid that is responsible for the heat of chili peppers and is used in pain relievers.
Capsaicin.
That is correct. Well done. All right. Moving on to the next of our toss-ups. Merkel cells and Pacinian corpuscles are mechanoreceptors found in this organ. This organ contains sebaceous glands that secrete oil, keratinocytes, and... Charleston.
Skin.
The skin is correct. Next set of bonus questions then primarily, or first directed to you. This man took the throne of England in 1066. Name this first Norman king of England.
William the Conqueror.
That is correct. William took the throne after defeating this Anglo-Saxon king at the Battle of Hastings. This king had recently defeated the Norwegians at Stamford Bridge.
Richard the Lionhearted.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon?
Ethelred.
No, it wasn't Ethelred the Unready. It was, in fact, Harold Godwinson or Harold II. Finally, in 1086, William ordered this great survey of his kingdom. It sought to assess land ownership in England to increase tax revenue.
The English census.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Answer?
No answer.
It is the Domesday Book, or the Book of Winchester. Increasing tax revenue should be familiar to you both, being residents of Coles County. So, moving back to the toss-ups, have I cleared that? This man gave the anti-war Beyond Vietnam speech at Riverside Church. While supporting striking sanitation workers, this man proclaimed, "I've been to the mountaintop." Charleston. Yes, I can accept MLK. All right. And do remember, yes, to Martin Luther King, to hit your microphones there. All right. So you get the first crack at these bonus questions. For a point each, name these Egyptian cities. In 2011, demonstrations occurred in Tahrir Square in this Egyptian city.
Cairo.
Cairo is correct. This second most populous Egyptian city was once home to the Pharos, a lighthouse that was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Alexandria.
That is correct. This city in the outskirts of Cairo is one of the largest suburbs in the world. The Great Sphinx is in this city.
Giza.
Giza is correct. You know your Egyptian geography. Well done. In heraldry, a tincture of this color is called jewels. The adjective rufous comes from a Latin word for this color. The adjective incarnadine describes objects of this color. Carmine and cinnabar are shades of what color? Mattoon, go ahead.
Red.
Red is correct. Well done. So we give you the first crack at this set of bonus questions. For a point each, answer the following about gates. This French sculptor created Eternal Springtime, The Kiss, and The Thinker as his components of his project, The Gates of Hell.
Rodin.
Rodin is correct. Michelangelo gave the name Gates of Paradise to the eastern doors of the Florence Baptistery, which this goldsmith designed.
No answer.
Charleston?
Bernini.
I'm afraid it was Ghiberti. Finally, Mattoon, Cloudgate is the official name of a reflective sculpture designed by Anish Kapoor and placed in Millennium Park in this city.
Chicago.
Yes, I was afraid if you didn't get that, that'd be terrible. It is, we normally know it as the Bean, of course. Okay, back to our next toss-up. Pencil and paper ready, so we have 30 seconds for this computational question. Daria needs to find the area of the triangle bounded by the y-axis, the x-axis, and the line y equals x plus 5. By finding the x and y intercepts of the line and applying the area formula, she computes what area of the isosceles right triangle? Charleston.
Negative 25 over 2.
I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon. Answer? No answer. In fact, it was a positive 25 over 2. Okay. Next toss-up. Oh, sorry, reset. In this book, a man experiences a vision of a sheet filled with unclean animals. Barnabas accompanies missions to Cyprus and Antioch in this book. The Holy Spirit comes at Pentecost in Mattoon.
Acts.
Acts is correct. All right, so yours is the next set of bonus questions. A poem about this type of object describes it as being beside the white chickens. For 1 point each, name this type of implement upon which so much depends.
The sickle.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
The red wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow is correct. Very good. All right, and over to Mattoon. This modernist poet wrote the red wheelbarrow.
No answer.
No answer. Charleston?
Williams.
Williams is correct, yes. In this poem by Williams, the speaker asks for forgiveness after eating the plums that were in the icebox.
No answer.
Charleston?
No answer.
No answer. It is the poem, This Is Just to Say. All right, and that is the end of our first quarter. So let's have a round of applause for our competitors. So I don't think we've had any substitutions, so nobody new to introduce. Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Buzz in.
Gabe Freeman.
Welcome, Gabe. So we have 12 minutes of our next round starting now. This man founded Santa Maria de la Antigua del Darien, the first permanent European settlement on the American mainland. In 1513, he led a group up the Chucunaque River that traversed the Isthmus of Panama. For a point, what Spanish explorer was the first European to see the Pacific Ocean? Charleston.
Cortez.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon? Sorry, did I?
Da Gama.
No, I'm afraid it was Balboa. Vasco Núñez de Balboa. All right, I've cleared that. Next toss-up. Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote a book about the prophecies of this man. He is depicted as traveling through time backwards in T.H. White's The Once and Future King. Mattoon.
Merlin.
Merlin is correct. Okay, so yours is the first crack at this set of bonus questions. For a point each, answer the following about American literature involving China. A Chinese peasant named Wang Lung marries O Lan in this author's novel, The Good Earth.
No answer.
Charleston? Answer?
Johnson.
No, I'm afraid it was Pearl Buck. All right. Back to you, Mattoon. In Amy Tan's The Joy Luck Club, a group of women meet to discuss their former lives in China while playing this tile-based game.
Mahjong.
Mahjong is correct. Finally, David Henry Hwang won a Tony Award for his play M. Butterfly, whose title alludes to an opera by this Italian composer of Turandot.
Puccini.
Puccini is correct. Very good. All right. So moving back to the toss-ups. This artist depicted an argument about transubstantiation in Disputation of the Holy Sacrament. This artist painted several frescoes in the Stanza della Segnatura, in one of which several philosophers surround Plato and Aristotle. Charleston.
Raphael.
Raphael is correct. He painted the School of Athens. All right, so yours is the first go at this set of bonus questions. For a point each, answer the following about the Indian independence movement. Indians sought independence from this European power.
The UK.
United Kingdom is fine. This one-word term, which means rule in the Hindustani language, refers to the British Crown's control of India from 1858 to 1947.
Raj.
Raj is correct. The Raj ended in 1947 as British India was divided into the Dominion of India and this other Dominion, which later became an Islamic republic.
Pakistan.
Pakistan is correct. Very good. All right, moving back to the toss-ups. During this war, Harold Alexander helped plan Operation Husky. The commander of the Fifth Army during this war, Mark Clark, was blamed for the slow advance from the Battle of Anzio. For a point, name this war during which the Allies invaded Benito Mussolini's Italy. Mattoon.
World War II.
World War II is correct. So, your bonus questions begin here. For a point each, name these forces that can occur in harmonic motion. By definition, in simple harmonic motion, this force is proportional to the displacement from equilibrium. As its name indicates, it always pushes the system back toward equilibrium.
Entropy.
No, that's incorrect. Charleston?
Restoring force?
Restoring force is correct. This is a force that reduces the oscillation amplitude or makes the oscillator return to equilibrium sooner. Friction can act as this kind of force.
Stopping force.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect.
Dampening?
Sorry, could you say again?
Dampening?
No, I'm afraid it's not quite dampening, it's just a damping force. You're close. Finally, this is the opposite of a damping force, an external force that causes increased oscillation. Answer? Okay, I'm afraid that's time. Over to you, Charleston.
No answer.
No answer, it's driving force. All right. Moving back from physics. Okay. Next toss-up. In optimization problems, you often use this operation and set the result equal to 0. When one function is composed with another, this operation can be computed for the composite using the chain rule. For a point, what operation from calculus gives the rate of change of a function? Yes. Charleston, sorry.
Derivative?
Yes, correct. Okay, so Charleston, you have the next set of bonus questions. The piano piece, The Entertainer, is a piece in this style by its king, Scott Joplin. For a point each, name this genre of music that emphasizes syncopated rhythm and duple meter. Popular in the 1920s, it was one of the precursors of jazz.
Rag.
Rag is correct. This composer's marches, such as the Liberty Bell and the Washington Post, strongly influenced the brisk rhythm of ragtime.
Sousa.
Sousa is correct. One of Joplin's earliest and most successful rags was named for this plant part. The name may come from a club in Sedalia, Missouri.
The maple leaf rag.
That is correct. All right, So, back to our toss-ups. In the northwest part of this country, the city of San Pedro Sula is the capital of the Cortes Department. The Gulf of Fonseca is to this country's southwest, where it borders Nicaragua and El Salvador. For a point, name this Latin American country. Mattoon.
Honduras.
Honduras is correct. Okay, let's go to our next set of bonuses for you. The general prologue to this work describes April's sweet showers as a liquor for dry roots. For a point each, name this 14th century collection of tales told by pilgrims traveling to a shrine in a namesake town.
Canterbury Tales.
The Canterbury Tales is correct. This Middle English poet wrote the Canterbury Tales.
No answer.
Charleston.
Chaucer.
Chaucer is correct. The first proper story in the Canterbury Tales is this account of the kinsmen Palamon and Arcite, who compete for the love of Emily. It is told by a man who wears a rusty hauberk.
No answer.
Charleston.
No answer.
It is the Knight's Tale. Next toss-up. While passing through Kentucky, this character befriends Buck Grangerford, whose family is feuding with the Shepherdsons. This character announces his plan to light out for the territory at the end of an 1885 novel. Mark Twain wrote about Charleston.
Huckleberry Finn.
That is correct. Okay, so our next bonus. Let me just clear this while I'm remembering. All right, next bonus set. A 2017 annual list published by Forbes claimed that there were 2,043 of these people in the world, the highest such total in history. For a point each, name this type of person.
A billionaire.
Billionaires are correct. For the fourth consecutive year, this co-founder of Microsoft tops Forbes' list of the world's richest people.
Gates.
Gates is correct. The second richest person on the 2017 list was Warren Buffett, the CEO of this holding company that owns Geico, Fruit of the Loom, Dairy Queen, and major stakes in several airlines.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire Hathaway is correct. Many of these places had a chief magistrate called the Archon. These places were served by a large public space known as the Agora, which often adjoined temples to the Olympians. For a point, polis is the native word for what centers of the Greek world, such as Corinth and Athens. Mattoon.
Cities.
Need a bit more than cities. Prompt.
Acropolis.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
City-state.
City-states is what I was looking for. Yes, correct. Okay. So now we go back to our bonus for Charleston first. Pencil and paper ready for a point each. Answer these questions about a collection of 48 coins. So we'll give you 30 seconds for these. If the coins are sorted into two piles, such that the first pile has 5 times as many coins as the second pile, how many coins are in the second, smaller pile?
Eight.
8 is correct. Next one. Given that the piles currently have 8 and 40 coins, how many coins would need to be moved between the piles to change the ratio to 3 to 1? You have 10 seconds.
Ten.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon? Time? Sorry, it was 4 coins would need to be moved, moving to a 12 to 36 ratio there. Finally, if every coin is either a penny or a quarter, and the total value of the collection is $1.20, how many quarters are there?
3.
3 is correct. Okay. And that is the end of our second quarter. So we'll take a slightly longer break, about 7 or 8 minutes for the halftime break. Feel free to stretch your legs, and we'll see you here again shortly. Let's have a round of applause again for our competitors. I think we've had some substitutions, so we'll just have our new players indicate that they've got the buzzer working. Go ahead.
Braden Edwards.
Braden Edwards in Charleston. And any from Mattoon? Yes.
Damien Kuykendall.
Very good. Welcome our new players, and welcome back teams. We're now going to begin our third quarter of 12 minutes as we probably complete our first packet. We'll see how we do. All right, starting with our first toss-up. This person coined the term entanglement in critiquing the Copenhagen interpretation. Charleston.
Einstein?
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. I'll continue the question and clear that. Considering a macroscopic system in a superposition of states. In other words, this scientist imagined an animal that is simultaneously alive and dead. Mattoon.
Schrödinger.
Schrödinger is correct. All right, so Mattoon, you have the first crack at these bonus questions. A 1775 novel by this author inspired young people to shoot themselves, much like the novel's protagonist did. For a point each, name this German author of The Sorrows of Young Werther.
Kant.
No, I'm afraid Kant is incorrect. Charleston?
Hess.
Hess is incorrect. It is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Goethe wrote a two-part play named after this scholar who offers his soul in exchange for worldly pleasures.
Faust.
Faust is correct. And finally, Faust's soul is purchased by this devil who warns a witch not to refer to him as Satan.
Lucifer.
Lucifer is incorrect. Charleston? Is it work? Go ahead. No answer? Oh, sorry, I thought you were trying to buzz in there. Devil possessed your microphone. It's Mephistopheles. Very good. All right, back to the toss-ups. This poem's speaker says that the word forlorn is like a bell that tolls him back to himself. The addressee of this poem is called Immortal and is described as a light-winged dryad of the trees. The complaint, "My heart aches," opens, for a point, what John Keats' ode addressed to a bird. Charleston.
Ode to a Nightingale.
Ode to a Nightingale is correct. All right, so your first crack at this bonus question begins now. This country reunified with its western neighbor in 1990. For a point each, name this communist country established in 1949. Answer?
Germany.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect.
Yemen.
Yemen is incorrect. It was, in fact, East Germany. I was not allowed to prompt you on Germany. East Germany erected a wall dividing this city. East Germany's portion of this city was its capital, while Bonn was the capital of West Germany.
Berlin.
Berlin is correct. Erich Mielke and Markus Wolf were leaders of this East German secret police organization.
Stasi.
The Stasi is correct. Very good. Someone's been reading their Cold War spy fiction. Good. All right. Back to your toss-ups. In a 2003 reorganization, this cabinet department lost the law enforcement elements of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the U.S. Secret Service. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing, the IRS, and the U.S. Mint are still part of, yes, Charleston.
The Treasury Department.
The Treasury is correct. All right, next bonus. Okay. This man enacted racist policies against white farmers, allowing his wife, Grace, to take control of several farms. For a point each, name this politician who resigned as president of Zimbabwe after a 2017 coup d'etat.
No answer.
No answer? Mattoon?
Mugabe.
Mugabe is correct. The successor of Mugabe led a Zimbabwean military campaign during the Rhodesian Bush War. This successor of Mugabe led a Zimbabwean military campaign during the Rhodesian Bush War.
No answer.
Mattoon?
Kelly.
Good guess, but it was Mnangagwa. All right. In the 2000s, Zimbabwe experienced an extreme form of this economic phenomenon as the Zimbabwean dollar became essentially worthless.
Inflation.
Inflation is correct. Okay. Back to our toss-ups. This organelle contains an enzyme, hexosaminidase A, that is mutated in Tay-Sachs disease. The enzymes in this organelle function best at acidic pHs. Cells and molecules engulfed by phagocytosis are digested in what organelle that recycles and disposes of a cell's waste? Charleston?
The vacuole.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon? Sorry, go ahead.
Lysosome.
Lysosome is correct. Well done. Okay. So now we're just going to go to the bonus for Mattoon. This property encourages some liquid to form round droplets. For a point each, name this property that also allows certain insects to walk on water.
Surface tension.
Surface tension is correct. Surface tension also causes this phenomenon in which a liquid in a narrow tube forms a curved upper surface.
Is it capillary action?
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
The meniscus.
Meniscus is correct. At constant temperature and pressure, surface tension equals this thermodynamic quantity per unit area. It is a negative for spontaneous reaction.
Entropy?
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
Gibbs free energy.
Gibbs free energy is correct. The family song of the characters in this film is the Beatles tune, Blackbird. This movie's villain is Francis E. Francis, who creates a forever puppy.
Boss
Mattoon.
baby.
Boss Baby is correct. I take it some of you have heard of this movie. There you go. All right. Okay, Mattoon. This next set of bonus questions is not about Boss Baby. For a point each, answer the following about the July 2017 in Major League Baseball. Every July, the All-Star Game is held, pitting the best players in the American League against the best players from this other league.
The National League?
Very good. This outfielder for the New York Yankees won the Home Run Derby in July and set a season record with 52 homers as a rookie.
Aaron Judge.
That's correct. This Rangers third baseman achieved his 3,000th career hit on July 30th, becoming the first player from the Dominican Republic to do so. Need an answer?
Adrian Beltre.
That's correct. All right, well done. This person, Elbridge Gerry and Charles Pinckney, were the American diplomats sent to France in the XYZ affair. Charleston.
Benjamin Franklin.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect, so we'll bounce it back to Mattoon. Continuing on with this question, after the XYZ affair, Andrew Jackson legendarily dared this judge to enforce an 1832 decision. What Chief Justice established the concept of judicial review in Marbury versus Madison? Answer, Mattoon.
John Jay.
No, I'm afraid it was John Marshall. All right. Oops, there we go. Next toss-up. Groups of internet astroturfers in this country include the Internet Water Army and the 50 Cent Party. This country runs a network security project called the Golden Shield Project. Name this country that controls internet traffic with its great... Mattoon.
China.
China is correct. Okay, next bonus. This woman organized what were known as she camps for women because they were not allowed to join the CCC. For a point each, name this first lady whose husband had established the Civilian Conservation Corps as part of his New Deal.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt is correct. Eleanor Roosevelt urged the U.S. to join this international organization for which she helped draft the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
The United Nations.
That is correct. In 1939, Roosevelt left this all-female organization over its refusal to allow African-American performer Marian Anderson to sing at Constitution Hall.
The Daughters of Liberty.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
No answer.
It was the Daughters of the American Revolution. You had the daughters bit. Okay. Next toss-up. Examples of this type of reaction include the cleavage of a disulfide bond to form thiols, and the formation of an alcohol from a carbonyl. In an electrochemical cell, this reaction occurs at the cathode. A species gains electrons in, for a point, what process? The opposite of oxidation. Charleston.
Reduction.
Reduction is correct. Okay, and next, back to our bonus questions here. Depending on how they move, these features may be classified as normal, reverse, thrust, or strike-slip. For a point each, name these geological lines on which most earthquakes originate.
Faults.
Faults is correct. Fault lines are common in these areas where two tectonic plates meet. Subduction occurs at some examples of the converging type of these systems.
A rift.
Rift, I can't accept. Mattoon?
Ridge.
No, they're plate boundaries. Finally, this type of plate boundary is contrasted with convergent and divergent boundaries. These boundaries are a subclass of strike-slip faults.
No answer.
Mattoon?
Fault block.
No, I'm afraid it's a transform or a conservative boundary. All right, and that ends our third quarter. Let's have a round of applause.
I know.
All right, folks, we have had a few substitutions, so as we begin our final quarter of this Coles County Clash Scholastic Bowl edition, let's have our new additions first from Mattoon. Introduce yourself. Buzz in.
Evan Cagle, freshman.
Welcome, Evan. Any others here? And Charleston, go ahead and buzz in.
Austin Sikorsky.
Welcome, Austin.
Keegan Madlam yesterday.
Welcome, Keegan. All right, so we will begin, as usual, with our toss-up. Score at the moment, I think, is 40-26, but this is a quick game, and who knows what will happen in the final quarter. First toss-up. This character once received a rubber mouse from his Aunt Clara, which he rejected. Charleston.
Lenny.
Yes, that is correct. All right, first of the bonus questions then. First crack goes to Charleston. For a point each, answer the following about the 20th century U.S. home front. During World War I, this food was renamed Victory Cabbage to avoid its association with Germany.
Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut is correct. A 1943 Norman Rockwell painting shows this World War II riveter stepping on a copy of Mein Kampf.
Rosie.
Rosie the Riveter, correct. During this war, students from a democratic society staged protests and encouraged the burning of draft cards.
Vietnam.
The Vietnam War is correct. All right. This man used his gun, which he named Lucretia Borgia, to kill 68 animals in 8 hours while working for the Kansas Pacific Railroad. The sharpshooters Calamity Jane and Annie Oakley appeared in his exhibition. Mattoon.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill is correct. Murderous fellow. All right. Your bonus questions then begin now. This company employs a team of security analysts called Project Zero. For a point each, name this company that regularly releases security updates to its web browser, Chrome.
Google.
Google is correct. 2 security vulnerabilities discovered by Jan Horn of Project Zero, affecting a wide range of computer systems, were jointly disclosed in January 2018. Name either.
Spectre.
Spectre was one of them. The other was Meltdown. So you're correct. The 2017 WannaCry cyber attack encrypted data on Windows computers and demanded payment in this cryptocurrency.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is correct. Very good, Mattoon. All right, back to our toss-ups. In 2017, this state's governor, while voting, told a woman to run for office if she wanted change. During a government shutdown, this state's governor was photographed lounging. Charleston.
New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct. All right, so the next set of bonus questions goes first to Charleston for a point each. Answer the following about gods who died. Though his mother Freya tries to prevent it, this Norse god is killed when Loki tricks his brother Hodor into throwing a mistletoe dart at him.
Balder.
Balder is correct. The Aztec pantheon included this feathered serpent god, who set himself on fire after embarrassing himself while drunk on pulque.
Huitzilopochtli.
Sorry, repeat?
Huitzilopochtli.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect.
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl is correct. So Mattoon gets that one. And then finally, Charleston. After the Sumerian demigod Tammuz was killed by demons, this love goddess, his consort, traveled to the underworld to rescue him.
No answer.
Mattoon?
No answer.
It is Ishtar, was Ishtar. All right, moving on to our next toss-up then. The crew of this vessel meets the former stars Koryakin and Ramandu. Lord Drinian captures this ship, which seeks the 7 great lords and sails to the eastern end of the world. Reepicheep and King Caspian.
The Dawn Treader.
That is correct. Mattoon, then yours are the next set of bonus questions. One way to implement this type of data structure is a linked structure consisting of a series of nodes connected by pointers. For a point each, give this general term for a data type that contains element in a specific order.
Tree.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect.
A list.
A list is correct. All right. A list can also be implemented with this data structure in which elements are held in consecutive areas of memory. In many languages, this data structure's elements are accessed using an index placed in square brackets. Answer?
No answer.
No answer. Charleston?
An array.
Array is correct. In Java, this type of loop is used to iterate over all elements of a list or other collections using the syntax element, list name.
Overflow.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
4.
I need a bit more than 4.
A for loop.
I'm afraid I was looking for for-act loop or enhanced for loop, so I can't give you that one. Complexes called rosettes move through cell membranes as they synthesize this substance. This polymer consists of beta-1,4-linked glucose, subunits, and the most abundant polymer on Earth. Humans cannot digest, for a point, what polymer that supports plants? Mattoon?
Carbon dioxide.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston? No answer? All right, it was cellulose. Okay, next toss-up. During this battle, sniper Vasily Zaitsev killed at least 225 enemy soldiers. Friedrich Paulus surrendered at this deadliest non-siege battle in world history. Name this World War II battle fought over 5 months at a city on the Volga River. Mattoon.
Stalingrad.
That is correct. Okay, Mattoon, so yours are the next set of bonus questions. Navigation on this river is limited by the Inga Falls. For a point each, name this second longest river in Africa. A country formerly called Zaire is now named after this river.
Congo?
Congo is correct. The Congo River flows past Brazzaville and this capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It hosted the Rumble in the Jungle boxing match in 1974.
Kinshasa?
Kinshasa is correct. Kinshasa was once called Leopoldville to honor the king of this European country, which colonized the DRC in the late 19th century.
Belgium?
Belgium is correct. You know your Central African geography. This province's Eastman River has been dammed to promote hydroelectricity. The Chic-Choc Mountains are in this province's Gaspé Peninsula, which is northwest of New Brunswick. Montreal is the most populous city. Mattoon.
Quebec?
Quebec is correct. So your bonus begins. The 3 sections of this poet's magnum opus all end with the word stars. For a point each, name this Italian who chronicled a journey through hell and beyond in his Divine Comedy.
Dante.
Dante is correct. The final section of the Divine Comedy is this poem in 33 cantos, which depicts the moon and planets as regions of heaven.
Paradise?
Paradise or Paradiso is correct. In the Paradiso, Dante refers to this woman as the sun of my eyes. Many of the poems in Dante's collection, La Vita Nuova, concern his love for this woman.
Beatrice?
Beatrice, Beatrice, very good. All right, back to our toss-ups. A motorcycle race in this city known as the Mint 400 is depicted in a Hunter S. Thompson book whose title, Charleston.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is correct. So Charleston, yours is the first go at this set of bonus questions. In 2016, this man correctly predicted, "I feel like we can run the table, I really do," before his team went on a 6-game winning streak. For a point each, name this NFL player who memorably urged fans in 2014 to relax.
Brady.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Mattoon?
Kaepernick?
No, it was Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers plays for this NFL team.
The Packers.
The Packers is correct. In December 2015, Rodgers threw a game-winning Hail Mary pass to beat this divisional rival, which is led by quarterback Matt Stafford.
The Lions.
The Lions is correct. All right, next of our bonus questions. This band sang "You Can't Help Yourself from Fallin'" in a hit from their album Get a Grip. A hit by this band that requests "Just Give Me a Kiss" was reworked by the rap group Run DMC. Sweet Emotion and Walk This Way. Mattoon.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith is correct. All right, your next bonus questions then. For a point each, name these French mathematicians. Andrew Wiles proved this mathematician's last theorem over 350 years after he wrote it, with no proof, in a margin.
Pascal.
I'm afraid that's incorrect. Charleston?
Fermat.
Fermat is correct. Numbers that are 1 less than a power of 2 are named for this mathematician. Several of the largest known primes are of that form. Answer? No answer. All right. Charleston?
Mersenne.
Mersenne is correct. This mathematician described a triangular arrangement of binomial coefficients with many interesting properties.
Pascal.
Yes, it's Pascal. He came up eventually. Very good. Okay, we have time for some more, so we go back to our toss-ups. On the original Mohs scale, this number was assigned to the orthoclase. This is the maximum number of atoms to which the iron atom in a hemoglobin molecule can bond, and it is also the number of simple machines. Charleston?
6.
6 is correct. All right. Next bonus set then starting, Charleston gets the first go at. This composer quoted the march from his opera, The Love for Three Oranges, in his ballet, Cinderella, for a point each. Name this Soviet composer. In another piece by him, the two title characters are represented by the strings and the French horn.
Prokofiev.
Prokofiev is correct. Name the aforementioned Prokofiev piece, a symphonic fairy tale for children written for orchestra and narrator.
Romeo and Juliet.
That's incorrect. Mattoon?
Peter and the Wolf.
Peter and the Wolf. Yes, very good. It's performed here occasionally. Take your kids. The Library of Congress commissioned Prokofiev's first work in this genre of chamber music. Joseph Haydn wrote many pieces of this type, including one called The Lark, and is set with the nickname Russian.
String quartet.
String quartets is correct. Okay, that is time. So we have our final score. I haven't been keeping track. It got a lot closer, but it's still Charleston in the lead with 56. Mattoon following up 43, an astoundingly high-scoring game caused by the intense brilliance of the people before you, who deserve a great round of applause. Congratulations to both teams. So the tiebreaker is there. Next year, Mattoon will doubtless seek revenge. I wish both teams well as they now go on to the football version of the Coles County Clash, the follow-up event to this. And thank you all for coming. And again, let's have a round of applause for our teams, coaches, and the staff here. Thank you very much.